it comes down to choose your hard, right? Yeah, it's hard putting out videos, hard meeting new people and trying to collaborate. Trying to make it as less difficult as possible. So choose something that you're passionate about. So our brand message it's invaluable. Using social media, the reason why I got started with it was seeing the ability of how many people I could connect with on an ongoing basis. If I didn't post on social media, engage with all the people that were engaging with me, I wouldn't have built that presence up within that community. Social media doesn't have to be as complicated as it's made out to be. You can batch a bunch of content, and all of that content should be a placeholder for your brand and its message, so that when you're out doing other things like podcasts, speaking on radio, guest appearances, things like that, they can automatically pull it up your social media, whatever app it is, and be like, okay, I get what this person's about.
What's poppin', everybody? Thank you very much again for tuning in for another episode of What Would It Cost? For the third time, we have Mr. Andrew Perrie that we're featuring today.
Yeah, buddy.
And really, really excited. This guy's got so much going on, not only with his real estate career, but the Fine Estates team and everything within his portfolio. We're going to be talking a lot about the visibility aspect of not only social media, but national television, international television, FM, AM radio, marketing, print and distribution campaigns. This guy's, he's spread out everywhere, and the way that he has the portfolio put together on firing out in the media side of things is inspiring, to say the least. So lots of tips and tricks in this one that you guys can implement and inject in your business, and see it that there's a very fruitful outcome from it. Mr. Perrie.
Yes, sir.
We know you got the ability.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about visibility today.
That's right.
So for all the young entrepreneurs that are out there that are looking in, that want some tips and tricks, that want to understand how to leverage the social media platforms and really get the most out of them. Yep. We know that you've done an extensive amount of marketing. You continue to, not only are you on international television, all the social media platforms are firing. Yep. You have your own podcast, your produced content, your authentic content with you just turning the camera around, the mixture of filler content and everything else that you're throwing at it. It's working. You're making amazing headway in the industry. You're building an amazing name and brand for yourself. So we're just going to dive deep on that today.
Yeah,
right?
Let's do it, man.
And
I love it.
What I love about what you got going on is that your personal brand and your real estate brand are married together, and it looks like a marriage that's really working out. Yeah. and I think that, by feeling that authentic, is a word that we continue to use with the marketing division over here. Feeling that authenticity, right, and that authentic touch that you have with your content really allows the two to marry one another. So give us some tips and tricks on how it is, your core values as a personal brand merge and marry so nicely the core values that you have in your real estate business and brokerage.
Right. So, and that's a good question, by the way. And you know what? In the beginning, it was all about me. And it was very flashy. It was very, I want to use the word, I'm trying to choose it carefully, but the thing that comes to my mind just right off the bat, because I'm very honest with my mistakes and how I've learned from them, it was almost conceited. Okay. It was certainly fake it till you make it. And at the beginning, when you're building a brand, kind of what else are you going to do? So, but what I realized between the merger of the relationship of my personal brand and my team's brand, it wasn't until I started putting the people of the brand first that then we started making more traction online, especially between the two brands. Because people, especially right now, real estate's tough. Business is tough. People coming into this business, they don't find out how tough it is and how lonely it is until like year 1, year 2, year 3. That's why companies, all from Reels, from Revel, Remax, and EXP, they're building these realtor hubs. And that's what we're doing at the Fine Estates team, is we're building a realtor hub where all of our realtors can come together and not only learn and grow financially, but also spiritually and personally. And we allow that to be shown in our branding and in our marketing campaigns by highlighting the realtors, our community, and our clients, and not just me. I'm wearing a suit, I'm pointing at a house and all that other stuff, right?
Right.
Putting some authenticity into it.
Right. So you looking at it from a communal approach and
Yeah.
having it be that you have everyone's best interest and that, you got their back like they got your back.
Yeah.
You guys are collaborating and you're putting them at the forefront and almost being that backbone that's in support of.
Absolutely, because you got to
Right.
understand, and this is my biggest tip for the leaders that are listening to this podcast, is that my marketing is never directed, ever, to buyers and sellers. My marketing in my brand message goes directly out to other agents, other business people, other salespeople. And that's why what I've built has been so successful. Because if most of our audience as realtors, especially in Ontario, are other realtors, what's the point of saying, hey, just listed, just sold, just listed, just sold? So if you'll notice, I only post real estate content if I feel the property, and this isn't a hate on any of my clients, but if there's something special about it that we can showcase, and maybe it doesn't mean that it has to be 10 million, maybe it's 300,000, but it has something that is relative to the times. If something's a really, really good deal because the mortgage rates are so high, I want to showcase that property and get it out for the world to see. But for the most part, it's geared towards educational and valuable content for other business owners.
Right. So big B2B initiative, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there was, and I know you've put out thousands and thousands of pieces, but if there was one piece of content that you could remember stood above the rest and did you right by not only portraying and really showing it as who you are, really showing, who it is you are and your business and having it stand for all that. What went viral in regards to likes, comments, shares, people talking about it, people stopping you on the street and being like, yo, that was awesome. Like, what was that one piece? And then further to that, why?
Well, I guess what I would have to bring up, although I don't really believe in the virality of this type of content these days, but this was certainly my biggest hit. When I first started real estate 7 years ago, nobody was even doing videos. It was usually a video montage of photos that the photographer took. And so I came out and I'm watching other people's in the States, LA, New York, Florida, stuff like that. And I said, wow, I got to do something like these people are doing. So a good friend of mine actually was part owner in Dollar Beard Club. If you guys remember that?
Yeah.
So all of these, their first kick-ass campaign came out with like 2 million, 20 million views. And it was about this guy walking and he's handing people stuff. And it's like one continuous shot.
The best,
So, so I attempted something like that. Didn't work out, but certainly my highest. It was my first video, so I had it all prepared for the day that I actually got my license. So the day I got my license, I clicked upload and post, and it went to like 60,000 views. And like back in 2016, that was a lot, right?
Wow.
So basically, I'm sitting there in my office with the world's best boss cup, and pulling off the Michael Scott from The Office, and I said, "Hey, oh no, is this another realtor video?" And then I look at the other camera, I say, yes, it is. And then I stand up, and I'm wearing a shirt. And as I stand up, I'm in my boxers, Toronto Maple Leaf boxers. And then, it's the whole theme was boxing out the competition.
Okay.
And so from there, I went to in a full suit and boxed. It was air boxing actually in a boxing ring. And it was just nobody had seen anything like that before. Right. And it was all about how I can beat out the competition. And, I look back on it, and as shitty as the camera angles were, the microphone was terrible. The audio, just half of it was cut out. And then, I put this like sepia filter over the entire video. I don't know why. I would say because I was inexperienced, but the video hit. And it was a big hit, and I still get stopped by not only other realtors, but people in Niagara will stop me and bring that up too. Hey, remember that video you did in your boxers? So I just think that, was just something that I felt needed to change and, mix up the industry a little bit. And it worked.
Nice. Yeah. I remember that commercial from Dollar Beard Club.
I know. It was
we
very
watched
similar.
it and we died, bro. I think, you know what? I think everyone should have a version of them doing that exact commercial in their business, just like giving authentic, whatever.
It's that one camera angle. It's that one continuous shot that really makes those types of videos. We couldn't pull it off, but
right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. And to go to that, what is it that you would recommend for anyone that was getting into creating their content calendar, understanding what their brand values are, and then using, what strategy to really have their content be felt and be loud?
So I think the whole point of that viral video is that you really have to find something that's different and stands out, which is very difficult to do. If I did that video now, it wouldn't have hit. They'd be like, oh, okay, there's another realtor doing a video. Here's my advice to your audience now is while you're trying to find something different, remember that over the last 2 years of all the noise that realtors have put out there, there's a very fine line of what is quality, what's going to hit with buyers and sellers, what's going to hit with other agents. Because unless you're in a massive realtor-to-realtor referral business like I am, there's no real point on trying to make other realtors laugh. Because, I just think with the noise again is that realtors can be seen as a commodity. And like you're supposed to be selling people's largest assets, and you're out there, in masks or your underwear or making fun of things. And to me personally, I feel that that's not going to do well for your business. So while I'm saying look to be different and stand out, I just think you need to really maybe run it by, what's that word when you pitch a new product to people? What do you call that? And you pitch a new TV show.
Like a creative think tank?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, when you're pitching a new TV show and you get people to watch it.
Okay, maybe premiere.
Yeah, no, like run it by people first.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, is this a good idea?
Yeah.
Like, should I be, making up a silly rap video? Some of them are really funny, right?
Yeah.
Some of them hit, but at the other time, you don't know how many people have lost listings to me because, okay, hey, just so I want to know, are you going to make a silly video about my house? I'm like, of course not. It is important these days, right? So obviously you have to know your clients before you put their own house on social media.
Right. Very cool. And what is it that you do to aid your team and assist them when they're building out their social media platforms? And, again, right, like the guidance and where to start and how to continue on keeping them encouraged and motivated and enthusiastic about wanting to pump out content, because there's always that fatigue that sets in, right? When you're just, no matter even if you're on a roll, you're vibrating high, things are working out, you're gauging a good ROI, you're feeling it, and you're just like, it's just a lot, right? So like when you experience that fatigue and that burnout, and I know a gentleman like yourself you don't even have to tell me, I know you've experienced them multiple times because of how much content you put out. What is it that you would advise anyone out there that are watching it, or more importantly, like I said a little earlier, your team members on keep going?
Yeah. So it's just like anything that you're going to do consistently. It comes down to choose your heart, right? Yeah, it's hard putting out videos, hard meeting new people and trying to collaborate. But it's also hard not doing it, not having the branding presence as well, right? So you got to choose your heart. And what I would say is that trying to make it as less difficult as possible. So choose something that you're passionate about. So, for example, somebody on our team, Paige, so she was pregnant. And, first thing that she did was reach out to, people in the industry that are in the pregnancy industry, like pregnancy clothes, pregnancy, preparation, all that kind of stuff, and collaborate with them on Instagram. And again, it's about showcasing other people's businesses, but something that aligns with your values. So at first, I was showcasing all local businesses no matter what, which is great. But by third, fourth, fifth video, nobody was really caring anymore. Now, so if I was to do something like hockey, and I was to do a series of videos about hockey. There's a realtor, and he's always out at the Buzz Conference. I think his name is Andrew. He's one of Virginia's good friends. He just put out a whole golf series. Okay. Dan O'Neill from New Jersey put out a whole golf series. Right? That choose something that you're passionate about and run a series about that, because then you start attracting those realtors and buyers and sellers that like hockey, like golf, are also pregnant. Because guess what happens when, after pregnancy, they give birth and they have little kids, and now you have a mom's group, and now you can go walking, and now you can film it, and now you can ask them what their experience is, bring them on a podcast. So it's about marketing and choosing campaigns and videos that align with your values so that you're more likely to continue doing them.
Right. Love that. Yeah. It just feels also natural.
Well, nothing's worse than you see some of these, and, God bless you for even trying. Absolutely. Get out there and try. But, nothing's worse than seeing a realtor sitting at a restaurant with the owner and like, so how long you been open? Yeah. Nice. That's great. I saw you guys get open. That's good. I really like your pizza. Well, thanks, guys. Stop by 123 Pizza Street in Niagara. You know what I mean? So it's you find something that you're passionate about. And this isn't to put anybody down. It's just that you have to be aware that although you are trying, that buyers and sellers are going to look, is this guy professional or is this girl not professional, et cetera.
Yeah. No, we say it all the time. Like, that authenticity is really felt, right? Mm-hmm. People gravitate towards it, and they're just like, "Oh man, this is him, or this is her, and this is cool."
And if you want to know, one of my second biggest pieces of viral video came from a documentary that I did about my weight loss journey.
Okay.
And there was this one piece where I talked about my past. Talked about, troubles on the road with my band, playing every night, just being real and open about where I came from.
Yeah.
And that hit with a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's the real Andrew Perrie. Who wouldn't want to know about that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome. So now, how would you diversify one's portfolio when it comes to just the social media, the media, television, FM radio? You're everywhere, right? And it's very interesting. So let's look at it from this standpoint. If you had a pie chart, right? How would you allocate a certain percentage in pieces of that pie if you were to incorporate guerrilla marketing, print distribution, FM, AM, international television, national television, social media platforms, and let's just leave social media platforms as one piece and not, going TikTok, Snapchat. Let's just leave that as one. And that incorporates, obviously, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, all in one, right?
Right.
Yeah. So how would you break that pie down?
I would be lying if I didn't say that social media was the biggest piece, especially of my portfolio right now.
Yeah.
But as I'm growing in business and as I'm growing, with my speaking career and other things that I'm doing, I'm realizing that social media doesn't have to be as complicated as it's made out to be. You can batch a bunch of content, and all of that content should be a placeholder for your brand and its message, so that when you're out doing other things like podcasts, speaking on radio, guest appearances, things like that, they can automatically pull it up your social media, whatever app it is, and be like, okay, I get what this person's about. So that's why I highly suggest, if you're a fisherman and you're a realtor and you care more about making money as a realtor than a fisherman, don't have your entire profile as fishing gear or fishing posts, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, once somebody wants to make sure that your business is fully professional, okay?
Yeah.
So that's my opinion. So I would be lying, like I said. Social media is probably the biggest part, and then print and traditional advertising has a huge piece in our business, because in Niagara-on-the-Lake there's 18,000 people and we have 3 newspapers. So it is a big piece, right? We put out 50,000 magazines for every one of our listings. That's at Homes and Land. So that's a big piece of the pie too. Now, the thing with radio is that you really have to look at your demographics and your location. So where is this radio?
Yeah.
Are you up north where one radio covers a large demographic, but not a lot of people can access it because the frequencies are terrible? Or are you in a place like Toronto or Niagara where you get, a lot of people tuning in, and most people who are listening are of the age of buying and selling, right? So a lot of people, in my experience, that we've got calls from our commercials, we're all 55 plus. That's our entire business. So that makes up a big chunk as well. Now, in terms of the other piece of the pie that I would consider as a massive piece of my business is the networking collaboration of other people's podcasts. So podcasts are kind of taking over the auditorial marketing, so to speak. But that's not to say that you need to leave radio out of it.
Right. Yeah. Love that. Beautiful breakdown. Yeah. And you know what? The Fortune 500 companies as a collective are allocating the majority of their marketing budgets right now towards social media. So you're on the right track with that being something that you're putting at the forefront at least, right? But to go to your point, it does trickle down into other spaces, attack other demos, and fire in other niches that have people's ear a lot more than just the social platforms.
And the reason why is because social media is social. If people are going to come and look you up, it's going to be at 9 at night when they're sitting on the couch or something like that. So they don't need to be sold at that point in time of their day. They're just winding down.
Yeah.
So they don't need to see that sellable content, that direct sales style of direct marketing campaigns, etc. So that's why I say why I'm slowly transitioning into the other forms of content that bring people at that time, because all my content is value. It's not direct sales. And so it only makes sense to send people there on their own time and not just say, click this link and join here and join now. Join whenever the hell you want. And when you're ready, call me.
Yeah.
That's been my motto since day one. And it's just, it works.
Yeah. Yeah. That you don't feel forced and overwhelmed by it. No, I like that for sure. Very, very cool. Yeah. So in light of the name, WWIC stands for what would it cost? Yeah. Given that you've sprayed in so many different areas and have activated on so many different platforms, what do you think you've spent in total? And what are you going to continue to spend moving forward? And fill us in with numbers, man.
Okay. So on average, we're spending about $50,000 a month.
Okay.
Now that includes 2 salaried staff.
$50,000 a month?
Yes, plus all of the other expenses, which
on media.
So
this is just media.
This is general expenses.
No, just media.
Right. So I'm breaking it down here.
Okay, sorry.
This is how my mind works. I work in percentages.
Okay.
And so about 80% of that 50 is marketing.
Okay. 80% out of that 50
is
marketing.
So whatever is that? What's that? What is that?
30s, mid-30s, 37, 38.
Yeah.
80% would be 40. 40. Yeah, 40.
Yeah, roughly 40,000.
Okay, yeah, very cool. So you believe in it,
but absolutely, and that covers our events and everything, because that is a form of marketing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and you know what? That's so beautiful to hear, and in a big way, we're massive believers in everything to do with marketing and advertisement, and it's in our operation part of the success, a huge part of the success when it comes to the exponential amount of growth that we're seeing. So nice to hear that you're allocating that kind of a budget towards it. Now, if one were to get started. Yeah, they want to come into the real estate industry. They want to make noise. They want to have it be that they're loud in a tasteful way that, again, aligns with their core values. What do you think a good start-off budget is for them to come in and say, how would you spend it? So if you had $1,000 to spend, what does that look like?
Well, I would allocate a lot of that into the post-editing process, because that's a little bit more important now. Okay. So, for example, you can go to a local business, and let's just call it a pizza shop. You go into the pizza shop, you buy a pizza because you're a nice guy, and you review it right in front of the pizza shop. Not to say that Dave Portnoy is the only person who can ever do this, but like we did it with chimney cakes at a bakery. So we go to the bakery, we order the chimney cake, we go out, we eat it, we review it, and sometimes we invite an employee out to come talk, or the owner.
Okay.
That there is what, $20, and then you're filming on your iPhone. There's no need to hire anybody when you're first getting started, and then the majority of that money is spent on post edit. So you send it to any type of ideally local, but it is a little bit cheaper if you go overseas. And, you get your captions, you get your cutouts, you get your cutaways, you can add, whatever you want just to make it more engaging and interesting. Thumbnails.
Yeah, very cool. So at first you're working within your resources and what it is you have. Absolutely. iPhone cameras are fantastic.
There's most of the most viral videos on TikTok and Instagram are all filmed on iPhone.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We were
or
going over
Android,
this strategy the other day. Yeah. We're married to our iPhones for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. So give us a little bit of background as to what got you into believing in social media to the extent that you do. And what does that look like on an ROI standpoint for you? How do you track that? I know it's a loaded question, but
for our style is that we can't really necessarily track it because we don't do pay-per-click ads.
Okay.
That's not our style. We don't do it. We do some online lead generation and stuff like that with landing pages, but honestly, not a lot. Majority of it comes through agent-to-agent referrals. So our brand message it's invaluable. Using social media, the reason why I got started with it was seeing the ability of how many people I could connect with on an ongoing basis. I can message 20 people at a time, have 20 different conversations or more. And what that's led to is my personal business being 90% agent-to-agent referrals. So if I didn't post on social media, engage with all the people that were engaging with me, I wouldn't have built that presence up within that community. And I wouldn't even, it's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Easy.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm spending nothing on that aspect.
Right.
In terms of advertising.
Yeah, so it's unquantifiable.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Very cool. So when you're targeting your market, are you like putting up geofences and looking at a certain area and a radius that you want to stay within? Are you spraying more, like wide? Well, how do you target?
We don't, because we don't do ads
like that, right?
So like I said, the only ads we do are those, it's a small company called Big Agent Locator. It just sends a little ad to click here for new homes. Other than that, and which is a very small budget, maybe $500 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, no ad spend
at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Love that. So it's more
just
on like
production.
Right.
Yeah.
There's more like collaborative approach and having it be that you leverage relationships to
exactly. There's nobody else I need watching my stuff other than the people that I have following me right now.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah. So you continue to farm an existing network that has made it so that your business is seeing some awesome upside
Absolutely.
from.
And I can see
through the shares every day. I'll have, between 5 to 20 new followers. They're all realtors. A lot of them are from the States now, so I'm gaining traction there.
Nice.
And just from continuing to post my podcast clips and other videos that I do.
Nice. That's good growth, man. Yeah. And you know what? That I haven't heard that before in regards to like, happy with my current following. I'm farming it. Mm-hmm. It's done great by my business. It's done right by my business in a big way. Absolutely. And if anything else comes in, it's almost bonus kind of thing. That's really cool because, one thing that always resonates with me that one entrepreneur told me goes, Nick, if every client or every referral source was the last referral source on this earth, or every client was that last client on earth, there was the last 5 that you were working on, last client, what would you do? What lengths would you go to, right? Like, what would you have it be in regards to this experience that you provide for this person, right? How are your follow-ups look like, right? What would you do to that file? All the touch points, the communication aspect. How many, pieces of material would you put out that target them specific, right?
Yep.
And, it being like you could extract, and when you really think about that and you take into the referral side of things, right?
Yeah.
It's like, holy smokes, if I did that for the client and the referral source, how much business is there to be done within our current ecosystem, as you chirp me all the time for saying, that we don't have to look elsewhere, right? And
Absolutely.
If you're doing a good enough job with them, not only are they going to, bring business back to you, but they're going to rant and rave about your services and who you are. And it's just
Absolutely.
like, to have that big following that you have and to farm it to that extent and to say that and be good with it is amazing. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that take.
We're in a time in society where trust in services are very, very low. So
Yeah.
majority of people who find the realtor found them to somebody else who previously used them.
Yeah.
And I think about that every single day. That's why, you know, and I learned a lot from you guys. Like that full white glove service from the back end to the front end to the sale to the rest of that client friction life.
Yeah.
They're going to be getting follow-ups and invitations to our parties, and it's just ongoing. Like who spends $5,000-$10,000 on a friggin' party for the past clients?
Right.
Right?
Right.
We do.
Right.
Because we know what that means.
Yeah.
Especially to them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, love that. Very, very cool. So anything that you would want everyone to know about what's next, what's coming down the pipe, what you're working on? I know there's certain things you can disclose. There's others you can't because they're that big, which is super cool. Congratulations. But yeah, what's next with Perrie, the team, the Fine Estates, the big movement, right?
Well, what we're doing is an expansion at a faster than expected rate. We're looking into multiple different markets as we speak. So we're trying to take that brokerage model and implement it through our team and help as many realtors get to that next point within their journey. Because what I've noticed is that all these realtors now who are starting are figuring out just how difficult it is to compete with super agents and super teams. So why not be a part of a super team?
Right.
And so
Those expansions are very, very important to me, as well as, we're filming for an international television show. We have a lot of speaking engagements coming up. But I think the biggest thing that I'm proud of is, our next location that should be released, let's say, hopefully by the end of the year.
Nice. Love that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll stay tuned, brother.
Let's do it.
That's it. All right. Andrew's going to tell you where you could find him and hit him up.
Well, keep it simple, guys. Just at the Andrew Perrie on Instagram. I check all my message boxes and I respond and I follow back.
Guys, thank you very, very much for tuning in again to another episode of What Would It Cost. Had an absolute fantastic time over here with my friend, my brother, and my associate, Mr. Andrew Perrie. It's been awesome. Thank you for taking your time, getting all the way down here. Absolutely. And let's not forget to subscribe and like, as we like to say. That's what keeps this gravy train moving. And we'll catch you on the next episode.